I've got to say, Les, I really enjoyed it, mate. I know the game is nothing each, but I didn't think there was a lot between the teams. I thought QPR probably the better chances. Unlucky when you hit the post. Dykes had an effort saved by the goalkeeper. But do you know what I loved about it, Les? And I really loved about it. It was like a throwback getting into an older stadium with the crowd right on top of you. The punters really vocal, supportive of our team. It was a throwback, mate. I really enjoyed it.
I thought you was going to say the prize, Ellie.
No, not as bad as that, mate. But I tell you what, though, you are going well, mate. You're going great.
Yeah, no, we've had a really good start to the January and the new year, and the boys have been brilliant. We lost Ilias Chair, we lost Seni Dieng to the African Cup of Nations. So two of our most important players, but the boys have stepped up, and we've had some good results.
Les, you're in fourth place at the moment, 48 points, 4 points off second with a game in hand. Is this more this season about not settling for a playoff place and pushing for that automatic promotion place?
I think we're always pushing. At the start of the season, we said if we could get into those playoff places, it would be an achievement for us in terms of the budget we've got and what we've had to do. So we was always looking at that, them top six positions. But I think the way we've started the season and the way things have gone, we're pleased with where we are at the moment, and we're trying to push on. And as you just said there, that automatic place is not out of reach for us.
That's the beauty of the championship, Les, isn't it? You put a little run together and teams come from nowhere, a little spell of 4 or 5 games unbeaten, you win 3, bang, all of a sudden you're heading up for the 1, 2, 3 spots. Yeah,
and the thing is, though, we don't get carried away with it because we know 2 or 3 results where it doesn't go the right way and you're sitting in 7th or 8th. So we don't get too carried away with it. But, we're sort of like pretty impressed with what we've done so far. And we just need to keep that going.
Would you take a playoff place right now, Les, or you don't want to commit to that?
I wouldn't want to commit to that because I'm greedy. I'd like to go up automatically. So I think settling for a playoff place would be sort of like going easy. I think we got to go the whole way and do what we can.
Well, as you touched on it, mate, looking at the league, there's 1 or 2 the usual suspects up there, boys that you'd fancy to be up there. Obviously Fulham. I know West Brom have hit a little bit of a run, a poor run at the moment, and Bournemouth up there. But the one team that surprised me a little bit as well, I know I think they had 1-0 against Middlesbrough in the week, is Blackburn Rovers. They're doing a great job, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing fantastic, and Forest are on the way up. There's some massive teams in this division, and they're all playing well, and they're all finding a bit of form. And what you do know is you're going to have a bit of form through the season, and you're going to lose a little bit. It's just when you lose that little bit, can you stay in there? And I think that's what we've done well this season.
Les, if Rangers, and pray God they can, get up into the Premier, is it daunting thinking, God, we're going to have to find some dough here, we're going to have to change half the squad, or do you just is that out of your mind at the moment, or do you have to think about things like that?
No, that's out of our minds at the moment. The focus is, can we get up? We've been trying for a few years now. The squad's changed in a dramatic way. Mark's coming with his staff, and not just Mark and his staff, but the guys that we've got underneath that, in our 23s, Paul Hall, Andrew Impey, Chris Ramsey. Those guys have done a fantastic job with some of the players that have come in that no one knew anything about and now playing in our first team. So, the whole club has, the ethos has changed around, and things are going in the right direction. So we're not concerned about the Premier League. Of course, we want to get there, and when we get there, let's worry about that then.
QPR went through a period of firing a lot of managers, similar to Everton are right now. Les, is it important that you get that stability and get it right off the field as well?
Yeah, 100%. We as you said, we went through a phase of, and I think that happens. I think when you look at the Championship, when you look at the Premier League, the tenure of a manager in the Championship is I think 13 months now. It might be less than that. So you are going to go for a few managers, but the teams that have been successful have normally had a bit of continuity in terms of their managers, unless you're going to one of the clubs that's got a lot of money, has come down out of the Premier League. You look at Fulham, for instance, the manager's gone in there, they've been able to take one of the managers that have been successful in this division before, but because they've got the finances, it's a little bit easier. When you're doing it this way, at a club like QPR, you have to have that stability, and I think we've got that now.
Les, this is not loaded by any means, this question. I'm just interested if this is just football in general. Newcastle reportedly putting out the signing of Jesse Lingard on loan. Man United want 12 million quid if they stay up. Is that greedy from a club as big as United, or is that just business? They know they can afford it with the owners, and if Newcastle stay up, then it saves them an absolute fortune. You know, the money of staying in the Premier is phenomenal. Is that just business, or do you think there's a bit of greed involved here with Man United?
I'm going to say it's business. It's just the way the Premier League is. It's just the way it works. And, you know, if Jesse Lingard goes there and keeps Newcastle in the division, what is it worth to Newcastle in what they're trying to do and where they're trying to go? I understand it's business, and sometimes people have a commodity that you're trying to get, and if you want that commodity, you've got to pay for it. And unfortunately, sometimes the prices have been inflated, but that's the way the Premier League is at the moment.
I totally agree there, Les. I feel that, you know, if he's going to be that player that, and for me, Newcastle need in that position, you know, someone that can run through the middle and help Saint Maximin create chances. If that's going to keep you in the league, then Manchester United know that, don't they? They know that how much Newcastle want this player, so they won't let him go to West Ham, a rival for top four, will they?
Exactly. You know, I suppose, you know, when you look at it, you know, I often say, and chaps, we say loads of times that where players go for a certain amount of money, you're not in control of that. You know, that's between the clubs, and the clubs have to do their business. You know, the players just go and get on with their business. And as you said, if he goes there and he's able to keep them in the division, then I'm sure Newcastle are willing to pay for that.
Les, tell me, mate, I'm looking at the top Premier League scorers, English Premier League scorers, centre forwards. I think Jamie's got 9, Ivan Toney's got 6. And I know I'm harping back, but I look back, yourself, Fowler, Shearer, Sheringham, Cole, boys like that. Would you accept there's a little bit of a dearth in quality of English out-and-out centre forwards?
I think it's changed, Ali. You know, in my day of playing up front, I played with two strikers up front and played with wingers that got the ball in and played to your strengths. I'm seeing loads of teams now that play with the one striker up the middle, and that striker's running all over the place instead of playing the width for the penalty box. Yeah. And so, you know, it's just changed in the way that the teams play. You're getting players that are rested, you know, rotation. And years ago, if you were scoring goals, mate, you never got rested. Yeah. You never got rotated.
We didn't want to be, did you? You know,
exactly. You'd go out with strappings on your ankle, on your knee, and everything. They do everything to cart you out there. It's just changed. And yeah, as you said, there's I look around, and the boys that you mentioned there that I played against, they were inspirations to me. I was like, you know, Robbie Fowler scored, Alan Shearer scored, Ian Wright scored, Teddy Sheringham, I've got to score. Yeah. And it was just, you know, and that's just how it was. I just think it's changed now. There's not that many quality strikers that you can say, like, I mean, this time of the season, and we're talking about people on 9 and 10 and 11 goals, you know, we're people talking about people in their 20s and, you know, heading towards 30 at this stage of the season.
Let's just finally, next few games coming up for Rangers, on paper, do they look okay?
They always look okay on paper. It's just when you get out there, there's, I mean, as you know, this championship is one of those, you can't take anything for granted. We play Reading at the weekend, and we know it'll be a tough game. It's a derby for us, so it will be a tough game, and we take nothing for granted. We just keep going away, plugging away the way we have been.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.